And we are live. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing
Good.
real
How are
good.
you,
What's up,
Wayne?
Jordan?
Doing good. We are just waiting for the one and only Duke Durango as
Here
well.
I am.
Hey,
I
hey,
thought
Duke
you was
Durango.
Dirty Dick Rains.
It's my
Thought I
new
smelled
business.
something.
Yeah, so before we get started, we do have a bunch of really, really serious questions, very, very pressing questions that we have to get to.
Very serious.
Very, very serious in short order. But before we get started, what's something right now that is all over Facebook is the big win, Winnipeg over the Oilers. So, what do you guys think about that? Do you care, or does it matter? Are you happy? What do you feel? What do you feel, Morris? Let's start with you.
Well, for the Oilers, I feel sad because they were winning all season. Looked like they're going to head into the playoffs and maybe go to round two, but instead they wet the bed. So yeah, kind of sad. Yeah, but I'm hearing there's backlash against Ethan Bear, and I feel for the guy. The guy works hard. He's First Nations, just like me and you.
Yeah,
And for
yeah,
them, and I keep seeing people are saying that the Oilers fans are making racist comments and all that stuff. There's no need for that. It's just
right.
a game.
Right. Here's the thing I will say, Morris, and I think you'll agree with me as well. That Ethan Bear is a grown ass man, and
Yeah.
he has been involved in hockey. He grew up through the minor hockey system, and he's a professional athlete, and he kind of knows what he signed up for. And I think right now I understand why everybody is really getting defensive. But I think that everybody should remember that he does have a thicker skin than maybe we're giving him credit for. He's a professional athlete and he's been through quite a bit. So I
Yeah.
think right now maybe things that maybe people are a little bit too sensitive. But generally very, very proud of him, of course. And
Of course.
you know what it's like when you put
Yeah.
up with criticism and stuff like that. So support out to him. Hot shot to Johnny Devine. What do you think about the Oilers and the Winnipeg game?
Well, I'm happy to see the Jets doing well at any time. As a guy who grew up a lot in Winnipeg, I'm always happy to see the Jets doing well. As a fan of the Flames, I'm always happy to see Edmonton lose. So for me, it's kind of a win-win, right? It's been a great series. I don't hold my breath on anything, but I'd love to see the Jets go all the way. But that's just because
Yes,
it's
you're
been
a
so long.
Winnipeg.
So
And
you
you
know,
are a Winnipeg boy, so I guess that would be expected. But you're a Winnipeg boy that's been transplanted into Alberta.
I'm a Calgary boy. Like there's no.
Yeah,
I
no,
spent 7 years in Winnipeg, but I'm not a Winnipeg boy.
gotcha. Right. I know what you mean. It's like I did spend about 5 or 6 years living in Saskatoon, and I love Saskatoon. But I'm a Regina boy because I've been here
That's it.
since I was 15, so it's kind of like that for me. Jordan, Duke Durango, what do
Okay.
you think about the NHL, man? What's happening? What do you think about that game last night?
You know what, man? I think Ethan Bear, as an armchair quarterback, when he threw that puck up the middle, I admittedly said, what are you doing with that puck? I mean, that's not a play you make on NHL on your PlayStation. Um, Having said that, it's not Ethan Bear's fault the team was down 3-0. You know, to lay, there's 22 guys that dress every night. So to lay that all at one guy's feet is absolute horseshit, in my opinion. Ethan Bear generally pretty stand up, pretty solid defenseman. So when you're under that spotlight, of course, any mistake you make is just under a bigger microscope.
Absolutely.
Going to Wavell's point, this guy come all the way up through minor hockey. I'm sure he's heard and seen a lot of different stuff going on around him.
Yes.
I'm sure it's just to some degree just another day at the office, maybe a bigger stage, but
Right.
I'm sure Ethan Bear will be just fine. And so will the rest of the Oilers. And good on the Jets. Good for Jets fans to see their team. That city, forgive me, Winnipeg, but that city's probably one of the more dog shit places you'll ever see. So just
Right.
to see their hockey team doing something is nice.
Hey, Duke, can we get you to check the gains on your mic? Sounds like it is a little on the muffled side through our end, which I find really shocking. I'm not used to you being so quiet. Okay, Hey, the next thing, boys, that I wanted to touch on really quick as well. Unfortunately, there was some news released last night by the Hannibal TV, and Buff Bagwell has been arrested once again in Texas. So I wanted to touch upon there seems to be somewhat of a little bit of an issue with when wrestlers, when we transition from the business into whatever our post wrestling lives are. What do you think are the main reasons for that? And I know that this could go on for hours and hours, but just like, what do you think are kind of the main reasons why people struggle in that transition?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, buddy? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, can hear you a little better. So just wondering, a lot of pro wrestlers tend to have some issues when we transition to our post-wrestling lives, right? So what do you think that is? Like, in my opinion, say, for example, I think one of the things is it's really, really hard to match the amount of excitement or, engagement where there's adrenaline on that, that there's not a lot that you can do where you get that type of an immediate emotional payoff, right? So once you're done, even if you're doing well, you're making money and all that kind of stuff, you're still kind of missing out on that engagement, on that missing piece. Do you guys know what I'm getting at, JP? Do you understand?
Oh yeah. Well, that's a chemical addiction, right? You guys are addicted to the endorphin release, or they're addicted to the adrenaline rush, whatever you want to call it, right? But at the same time, I think for a lot of guys that way, it all falls down to not having a good backup plan or skill set to begin with. So when all you've got is wrestling, and the show stops or the dance comes to an end, like, that's when guys go off the rails. Is the addiction kicks in, the need to fill that void, and it's impossible without the show.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. And before we go to Jordan for that, I was just going to say, Morris, if you have headphones, they're getting a little bit of a feedback. The Musquecheese feedback on our end.
Oh, geez.
The 26 feedback.
Should I turn down the volume?
If you have a headphone, it'd be probably better because your mic is picking up the sound.
What? Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
It's just that we can also hear ourselves as well.
Oh, geez. Hang on.
Okay.
Is there a way you can turn the camera off, Jesse? Could you do us a favor?
Yeah, Morris, if you could turn your camera off, and Jordan, turn your sound up.
Is this my camera? Is this on?
What a bunch of dusters.
Right. Don't let these guys alone live on Facebook.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. A girl. Hang on.
Yeah, that's good. And also, maybe what it helps as well is if you hit the mute when you're not talking. Maybe if you just hit the mute button as well, that could probably help as well.
Okay. Okay. Basically, for me, I feel for the guy. Like, I really do. Some guys can't. They're in the big time. They can't transition because now there's no more money. There's no more cameras. There's no more fans. And for me, I've been fortunate enough where my firefighting career and Stampede wrestling career were both growing at the same time. So I was kind of doing both things at the same time. People don't know this, but I've told Jordan on the podcast is I was wrestling at the same time I was working. At the same time I was a single dad. So I was pretty busy. So when wrestling kind of left me, I was kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was kind of okay with it. Yeah, well, for me, I ended up getting a job, and it was a good paying job with benefits and stuff like that. So I was pretty much okay with it at that time too. So I totally understand that. But yeah, no, I get that too, because honestly, I love my job, and there's lots of stuff that I love working out. There's lots of things that you can do, but there's nothing quite that actually can match that or replace it. So I believe the key is to find something else. that you can channel your energy towards. And if you can't do that, then I think that there's going to be some issues. So unfortunately, that's happening right there. Positive vibes and thoughts out to Buff Bagwell. He was always nice to speak to backstage. A great guy to be around. So
I had the pleasure of working a couple of times. I had the pleasure of working with him a couple of times, and I mean, like, anyone will tell you, Buff wasn't exactly Luthez, but still a good guy to be around and fun to be around. So it's sad when you see, guys fall off the horse.
Right. And the thing was, he didn't need to be Luthez, because if you saw any of those matches, like when he gets out there, it doesn't matter what he does, right? Like he just he throws a headlock on and people freak out. So definitely very talented. And when you talk about like the it factor, Buff Bagwell was
a lot of charisma.
Absolutely, just overflowing with charisma. So good energy out to him. Hopefully he comes back from this. So I guess we will transition to some questions that I have ready to ask you guys. These are very, very, very important, critical questions that I hope that young wrestlers are watching and paying attention. Perhaps taking notes.
Taking notes.
Taking notes. Okay. So we'll start. So I guess we'll start with Morris. And we'll go all the way around the horse. All the way around the horse.
All the way around the whore, you mean?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Okay, Morris. This is for everybody. Okay, have you ever been alarmed or concerned when discovering any signs of aging on yourself?
Oh.
Can you repeat that again?
Have you ever been alarmed or concerned when discovering any signs of aging? So for me, when I was, started shaving my head, I could see that the gray was going higher and higher. And when I noticed that, so I'd be shaving my head and this snow would be like, it was just this white hair coming off the side.
Arctic blonde. That's
wow.
Arctic blonde, buddy.
No, I wasn't alarmed. I wasn't alarmed at all. I've got grays on the side of my sideburns here. And Paige, one day I was driving her to school. She sits there going, "Dad, you've got gray in your hair. You're turning gray." And I said, "Yeah, it's because of you."
Yeah, but you can still make babies. You're not based in. Johnny Devine, how about you? Have you ever been concerned when discovering any signs of aging?
I got concerned, would have been 2016, 17, after like 4 or 5 months of not sleeping after getting hit head on in a car accident and stuff. I came up with extra bags under my eyes then. Where'd those come from? Right. Those were alarming.
Yes, I bet. Jordan?
They're not going anywhere.
This is something you won't identify with, Wable, for sure, because you shave all your body hair, you weirdos. But one of the weird things to me of aging was like noticing gray chest hair. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden you got this white chest hair. It's like, what the hell? Like, so I'm going bald on my head, I'm getting hairier on my chest, and I'm turning gray. What the heck, man? That is not a fair trade. That is not a fair trade.
No, that's not a fair trade, and it's not a great realization when you first see it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, when your body hair starts turning gray, that's like, oh shit, now I'm really getting old. Like, I had some kid at a show a while ago yell at me, as I was walking by, and this is going back 4 years for sure, because as I'm walking by, this kid looks up at me and he goes, "Man, you're like 50." And I look at the kid and I go, "Try 44."
Not even close.
Yeah, his mom thought it was hilarious.
Okay, let's go. This should be an easy one. Okay, so we all have sore backs. How old were you when you first started having back issues, Morris?
16.
16? Johnny Devine?
I was like 22 in the Army.
22 so before wrestling even?
Yeah.
So what was it from? Like just a physical?
Carrying a 100-pound rucksack and 70 pounds of ammunition and a 30-pound rifle, and then pushing a sled at the same time.
Yeah, and then carrying dirty Duke Durango through matches later on.
Oh my god! Oh, I should have just had a backpack installed.
Yeah.
Duke Durango, how about you, Ben? How's your back, and when did you first start to notice it?
When I was 15 in grade 10, I think, I pinched a nerve in my back wrestling. So kind of ever since then, not real back issues, but always kind of conscientious of a back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, then after about 6 months in the dungeon, I had a hard time walking upright when I would get out of bed in the morning. And then figured out I had a fractured vertebrae. Whether it was from the dungeon or not, no one knows. But literally, it's one of those things, like when you say it, it sounds bad, but it's nothing. Like, don't do squats, don't do good mornings, don't do deadlifts, and you'll be fine.
No. Hang on, boys.
Okay.
Listen to all the noise you make when you get up, you old bastard.
Yeah, no kidding. You sounded like he was just lifting a car or something.
I thought he just turned on a popcorn maker.
It's not like a bulldozer moving, just all creaky and stuff.
Okay. Here's another one, fellas. So this is in regards to vegetation management, grooming. Do you groom or trim the hedges? And if so, what is your utensil of choice? Would it be a razor, clippers, wax?
Got you.
Morris. No.
What was the
management.
question?
Just let it grow wild, shit.
I didn't hear the question.
Okay,
Damn,
well,
Johnny,
let's- Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it's in regards to grooming. We'll start with Johnny Devine. We'll go to Johnny Devine.
All right.
So it's in regards to grooming. Do you groom or trim the hedges?
I trim, I guess, because I use clippers and scissors. I won't
Clippers and
use
scissors.
wax. Well, yeah, I
The
mean, like
scissors.
hair.
Okay, scissors. So scissors. That's a pretty focused.
This is grooming. This is hair. You cut it.
There you go.
Gave myself a haircut today.
There
Right?
you go. Gotcha. Jordan, veg management. Do you groom?
Oh yeah, totally, man. I use. I'm currently running the Manscaper 2.0.
Yes.
Yeah, man. You gotta trim the lawn, make the house look bigger, boys.
So, but I that thing, they put that thing over like it's supposed to be the best thing in grooming, but I hear that it actually does cut you. So
It absolutely does, but here's the thing: it doesn't go as fast. Like I got this Phillips trimmer at Costco,
yeah,
and man, you cut yourself with that thing, and it looks like a freaking crime scene in your bathroom. The Manscaper, one side of it has a steel blade and a plastic blade. So the gimmick with the Manscaper, here's where they get you.
yeah.
The one-time spend isn't that bad compared to other trimmers. But the blade, because the bottom side of the blade's actually a plastic, so that part dulls. So every 3 months, they send you a new blade for this thing for $30. That's where they get you.
Oh,
But it
that's
does- yeah.
expensive.
But you are much less inclined to chop your rig up, and when you do, it's not as bad.
Chop the rig. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on here. So, people tend to focus on the negative impacts of aging. What is one positive that you have discovered? And I'll go first. For me, it's been patience. I had a hard time being with my patience all the time, and I'm still very impatient compared to most people, but a lot better as I get older. Morris,
I have to go with you on that one. Patience.
same thing. Patience.
Yeah.
Johnny Devine.
Well, I mean, patience has to develop over time, so I'm not going to take the easy answer like you guys. I think one of the things that I've been happiest about as I got older is the knowledge that I'm not alone in my thinking, because there comes points in your life where you're like, fuck, am I the only one who thinks like this? And why?
Yes.
What happened to all the guys who used to agree with me, blah, blah, blah. But they come, they go, they whatever. As we've gotten older, as you've seen, I'm sure, the amount of like-minded individuals who are intelligent, well-spoken, and have a moment to have intelligent thought, those people are out there in droves, but they hide, right?
Right.
Because, society is terrifying and stupid, right? So to me, getting older has been the realization that there's a lot more of us than we think, and we're just quietly waiting until shit falls apart before we go, okay, enough of this.
Yeah. Yep. No, have to agree with you 100% on that one. Duke Durango, how about you, man?
Kind of like Devine's answer. I think for me, it's been the gaining the wisdom of experience. As you get older, people think, young people, when you're telling them something, they think you're telling them just because you know. And you're not telling them because you know, you're telling them because you've done that dumb shit already. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that to me is the cool thing. Like, you're watching the young people around you stumble through life and watching them make mistakes. And you're like, hey man, I can see the pitfalls of where you're going. Hey sister, I can see the pitfalls of where you're going.
Yeah.
And like, you don't know, and you're like, I'm telling you, I know where this ends. And oftentimes they don't listen, sometimes they do, but gaining that wisdom of experience to me is like people always say, like, would you want to be 21 again? Not without the wisdom of experience.
Yeah. No, I hear you. That's a very good answer. Good answer. Okay, Let's move on. Let's see here. Okay, so Morris, are you ready to answer this one? And I did figure it out, actually. Morris, here we go. So this one's for you, and I not based in here. Think back to the very first time you asked a girl out. Did she say yes? And how old were you?
I was 15, and she said no.
Oh, no, she says no. Johnny Devine.
Also 15, but it was a yes.
It was a yes. Good for you, Duke Durango.
Just defines what we're talking. Ask out on a real date. I'll go 14, and she said yes.
14, and she said yes. Gotcha. So, I remember asking a girl out in grade 6 over the phone, and she absolutely said.
Over the phone, no doubt.
Yeah. No, that was so stupid, right? So stupid. It should have been in person, or at least just. Yeah, it just did not work. But anyway,
could have carved her name into your chest, shown her true devotion.
Something really impress her that way. Something really cool.
Yeah. Disfigure yourself. That's the way to go.
Who was your childhood celebrity crush, and is she still hot? Thunder.
Oh, this is a great story, actually.
What are you asking again?
Who was your childhood celebrity crush, and is she? Who was your childhood celebrity crush, and is she still hot? And don't say you're dating her now.
Bionic Woman.
The Bionic Woman was the crush.
Trying to remember her name.
Is she still hot? Is she still hot?
I think so. Her name's Lindsay Wagner.
So.
There you go.
Johnny Devine.
Yeah,
Johnny
I think
Devine.
so. 70 years old. Not bad.
Johnny Devine.
So, true fucking story. Of a couple, because when you're a kid, you got all the likes. But anybody remember Samantha Fox?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. How could you?
Yes.
So, at the inception of MySpace, at that time when we all blew up on MySpace and had Tom and a bajillion friends, I actually got hit on and messaged a number of times by Samantha Fox.
What?
And I was and legit, I was like, well, that's some bullshit. But then I made her send me video, and it was legit. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
From
This
what I
is a
understand,
success story.
she has since passed.
Wait a second. So you didn't close this sale, Devine? Is the end of the story?
Yes. I did not close the sale. She was in New Brunswick or somewhere, I don't know where she, other side of Canada she was living. But I was over
more
at one point.
disappointed in you than I am right now, John.
I'm sorry. But 15-year-old me spanked like crazy to Samantha Fox, right? So it was a big high spot.
That is a huge high spot, dude. I'm thinking
high
back.
spot.
I remember that song. What was it? Touch me.
Touch me. Oh,
I
brother.
wanna feel your body. It was so good, man.
Don't tell me that's not on your gym mix now, baby.
It will be. It will be tomorrow. That was a very good one, Johnny Devine.
jams.
Duke Durango. How about you, man?
Oh man, probably Valerie Bertinelli
Okay.
from that show One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she's still banging. And you know what? Same one with Donna.
Yeah.
Always, from day one, man, I've always had a thing for Madonna.
Yeah. For me, Pam Anderson.
Oh,
For
there
me,
you go.
for sure, Pam Anderson, and she still looks pretty good. I think for her age, she still looks pretty good. She probably regrets the barbed wire tattoo, but other than that, she's
Yeah, I
pretty
think
cool.
there's a lot of people out there regretting the barbed wire tattoo right now.
Okay, here we go. So let's say hypothetically, whoever you just told me was your childhood crush. So let's say that she's single and she still looks great. If you were alone in an elevator with her for 30 seconds, would you have the nerve to ask her out or no? No. Johnny Devine.
Oh, 30 seconds would be 29 more than I need.
Right. Just ask right away. What's the like?
No, I'd have
so would
already
you ask
busted
right-
it,
would
not
you-
just being in the elevator. I'd have been like, good.
Would you just like right away
Yeah.
try to? Would you try to get over first? Like, would you? I don't know. Like, to try and get over by telling a joke or something, or
I'd give her the old Joey, hey, baby. No, actually, I swear to God, and this is legit story, I believe that Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons was the greatest of pickup lines, and it never failed me in the bar, ever. So I would bust out my Ralph Wiggum and stand there awkwardly next to her and be like, so, do you like stuff? And then I'd be over. But if I wasn't over, I'd be leaving.
Duke Durango.
Assuming I'm not married, she's so down to earth, I would totally turn the wheels on. I would start chatting her up instantly, for sure.
Yeah. I think I would at the very least I would try and get her phone number or something right off the bat, because I know that I only have like the 30 seconds. You never know. As soon as you stop, the door could open, someone could come in, and it could be packed or whatever. So
Yep.
gotta
I'd
take that
totally
chance.
wait till the doors open, till people were standing there. And I'd be like, look, Miss Bertinelli, I'm really attracted to you, but this is with you hitting on me like this is kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then
don't-
that would make-
listen, I do not appreciate you
Yeah.
laying your hands
And then
on
that
me,
would make her
Pamela
laugh,
Anderson.
and I'm in the door.
There you go. Right?
Okay, here we go. This
Make
one's
'em
pretty
laugh.
easy. So we're in a different order now, Morris, because Morris left. So we start with Johnny Devine, go to Duke Durango, and then we'll go to Morris. So this one's real quick. Have you ever been married or divorced?
Both.
Both, right? Yeah. I guess you'd have to be both, right? If you're divorced, you'd be both. Duke Durango.
Yes.
So far, just married, but I assume at some point she'll smarten up from her.
Well, you've lasted this long.
You got her
she's-
snowed good.
Yeah. You've kayfabed her this long. You're probably gonna make it right to the end. Red Thunder, what do you think, man?
Divorced, and I'm married. I'm currently married, happily married.
Yes.
Love my wife.
Yes. How many times have you been married now? Is that 5?
No,
I'm just kidding, brother.
this guy's just ribbing me. Holy. No, this is
Okay,
my
this
second
one.
marriage, and
Yep.
I'm really happy. I love her, really do. Like I'm
Yes.
good.
Yeah, no, you guys are a very good couple, and I remember meeting you guys when you came out here a couple summers ago. You guys could tell you that you guys were very happy together, and you're going to be having a long life together.
Yep.
Okay, next one here. Johnny Devine. Do you have to be selfish to get ahead in life? Like, not just wrestling, but like in
No.
life in general?
No. And it's the sense of community is what's needed to truly succeed. Because when you help a few other people and then they help you back, like all of a sudden it's easy. You know, you don't have to work quite as hard. But a selfish person can get ahead in life, but I don't think they're as fulfilled as somebody who does it with the help of other people.
Right. No, I think the same thing as well. Oops, hold on. Duke Durango.
No, man. I think you go better. I think you get through life better working as a team. I think with at least a small community of people around you that you can rely on, depend on, you'll go a lot farther than if you're just a selfish person trying to do things on your own or simply for yourself. I think having a sense of the greater good, something greater than yourself, gives you a different sense of purpose, and I think that's important in life.
Yep. Morris, do you have to be selfish to get ahead in life?
No, you need people in your life to get you ahead in life.
Right.
You need their advice, you need their wisdom. Taking point, you guys. I learned how to be a better wrestler. You guys.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say a better person, and I was just laughing
better
out loud.
wrestler. You know what? Also, the job I'm in. We have to work together. I can't just go into a burning building by myself and put it out. I could, but I may not come back, right? So you need teamwork. Teamwork works. So
Makes the dream work.
That's my take on it.
Absolutely. Okay, so here we go. You get one protein source only for the rest of your life. So it can be egg whites or steak or so just one source. Like it's like, what is it? Is it the hamburger or is it steak?
Well, steak, because it's all hamburger is just ground steak. So
okay,
cow.
Yeah, so
that's my source.
Okay, so you get to go with the cow. Duke Durango.
Yeah, I'd probably go with Devine cow, because you can do meat up a lot of different ways. You can do beef up and things. Yeah, probably cow.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty safe bet. How about you, Morris?
Cow.
Yeah, I would say cow too as well, because there's a lot more options with cow. With the chicken, you've got chicken breast, chicken thighs, chicken legs, and they're all dry. Okay. Would you rather eat 100% vegetables or 100% meat? Johnny Devine.
Truth be told, neither, but probably
Gotta pick one.
100% meat in this instance.
100% meat. Duke Durango.
Yeah, I'd probably go 100% meat.
Morris.
100% we ask. Yeah.
Yeah, we ask.
But this is not to offend any vegans out there.
No.
This is simply stated. I eat things that eat salad.
But also fuck vegans. My food shits on your food.
Yeah. Your food's what my food eats, sucker.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yours is
I stole this one.
Promissory note.
I stole this one from the bodybuilding bro chat. So, would you rather, you can only have one of the two. Would you rather have incredible food or incredible sex for the rest of your life? You can only have one, not both.
Incredible food.
Incredible food. Duke Durango?
Will the food be at least mediocre?
No, it's no, it's not. It's got to be subpar. It's got to be
subpar food, eh? Yeah, I'll still take the sex, man.
Take sex?
Yeah.
Red Thunder?
I'll take the sex.
Surprise! Not based in. Honestly, 47 years old. Might have to go with the food.
Telling you, man. Hey, sex can be made magical, right? But good food all the time, that's, you eat way more food than you have sex.
I don't know, man.
Us fat kids.
Okay. Here is another one that I stole from the bro chat. So, you're locked in a cage with a deer in a fight to the death. Can you win?
Fuck yeah.
You and a deer. One deer.
Easy peasy.
You could do it?
Easy peasy.
How'd you do it?
Choke that motherfucker right out.
You just jump on him and choke him?
I'd ride him like Seattle Slew and choke him like a bitch.
Duke Durango? Can you beat up a deer in a cage?
I gotta. Here's the thing: deers fucking cheat, right? They got them gimmicks. They got them razor blade feet.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, all their gimmick feet.
Fuck it, they'll cut you. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna get cut.
Man, the one German suplex, that deer would know it hit it. I think I could.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah,
once he reaches out with that long gangly paw, quick duck under,
Right.
you're in behind, around the waist,
That's
suplex, he's finished.
There it is.
I think we just
Right?
lost
Tie-
Morris.
Tie those hooves up.
Yeah, I think we just lost Morris, but I have no doubts that Morris could take down a deer with his bare hands. He could probably
He
talk the
probably did
deer
this
to kill
morning.
himself.
He would use every single part of the deer.
Yes, he would, because
And
he
then-
doesn't waste anything.
Absolutely. This is what I'm saying.
Okay, what is your caffeinated beverage of choice, Johnny Devine?
I'm not much for coffee or tea, so yeah, like the army made me hate it.
Okay,
Right? They force it to you because caffeine keeps you up for late night watches. So
Hey,
I didn't enjoy.
Hey. So it's kind of like that just made me think about like I don't know why this made me think, but the Nazis were always all bumped up on meth. Hey, did you see any of those documentaries? Yeah,
'cause it
so that's why you
kept them fighting longer and harder.
Yeah. So I don't doubt that they made you drink coffee.
Well, yeah, and that's like when you've got a fucking 2 or 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., 5 a.m. fire picket where you got to keep everybody alive.
Yeah,
You got to stay awake.
right.
You know, and so like coffee is your only choice. And,
Yep.
army coffee is not good.
Right. How about you, Morris? What's your caffeine of choice?
Coffee.
Coffee, eh? How many cups in the morning?
One.
1 cup? That's all you need in the morning is 1 cup? You're kidding me.
Well,
No
then,
way.
it's just 1 cup. That's it. It's Timmy's. That's it.
I'm probably about 3 cups, but I don't buy it though. I do not go mark out and sit in line at Timmy's like I used to, because you take all that time that you spent in line, you're never gonna get it back. So I don't do that. I have a Keurig, and that works good enough for me. Did you guys still buy coffee?
No, man.
Nope.
Well, I buy Costa Rican coffee 10 pounds at a time.
Right. That's the good kayfabe coffee.
Yeah, it's coffee.
The kayfabe coffee. Okay.
Comes in a
Morris.
brick and it's white.
And it's white.
It's that new white coffee the kids.
Gackety gack. Don't talk back. Morris, this one's for you from Victoria. I've got to know your bannock, fried or oven. Which do you prefer?
Fried.
Same here. Western world.
Also.
On the same page.
Everything fried, man.
Yes. Okay, here's a serious one, and it's a yes or no question. Johnny Devine, do you believe in a higher power?
Oh, I believe in many higher powers.
Okay,
I don't think there is just one.
Okay, Duke Durango?
Absolutely.
Yes. Morris?
Yes, I smudge every day. Pray for you guys every day.
Hi. Okay, so with that then, everybody here believes in a higher power, so real quick, just point blank, what happens when you die? Johnny Devine.
I've died. There is more. I can't tell you exactly what and where, but I know there's more.
Right. So did you had some sort of an experience, like you?
Oh, yeah,
you
for sure.
almost died. Did you
No.
levitate? Like,
When I
did you
was-
see yourself?
No, when I got stabbed in 2004, my heart stopped for 2 minutes. So, like, they had to resuscitate me. So, my memory of that period is like a kind of like a green field / mountainy thing. Like, I'm in the mountains. The school, and then I wasn't in the mountains anymore.
Mountainy trees.
Yeah,
I've heard
that was me.
I've heard of that as well before. Trees, like that's people that have been to that area or whatever, and they recall trees. So
Yeah.
man, that's it.
Everybody gets something different.
Yeah, Duke Durango. What happens when you die?
I believe in a heaven and a hell, but not in the traditional sense that everyone would talk about it in. A much more long-form conversation for a different time. But having said that, I don't believe when you die nothing happens. I believe the body, everybody knows the body works on electrical impulse, which is energy. You can't kill energy. So to me, when you die, that energy doesn't just go away.
Yep.
Go somewhere.
Yep, I believe that one exactly the same thing. Morris?
I believe that we go somewhere because nobody knows this because I kept it to myself, kept it to my family. When I broke my ankle, pulmonary embolism, and the doctor, my family doctor, literally said,
Wow.
if I don't get you to the U of A, you're gonna die. So I sat there and I prayed and I said, Mom and Dad, if you're gonna take me, take me. I'm tired. I'm tired. But if you're not gonna take me, let me stay here and finish what I need to do.
Yeah.
And off in the distance, I looked in the room. The doctor was there. The nurse was there. I saw something, a white mist leave the room, and I'm like, holy crap, you know. After that, it changed my life. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do here on Earth.
Yeah, you still have time left. You still got stuff to do. Wow. Yeah, that's freaking inspiring, man. Okay, so I want to ask you a couple questions about the future of a couple events. So, what is it? So in regards to Christmas, do you celebrate Christmas? Do you go all out, and do you see it like lasting, like forever and ever?
Are you asking me?
No, Johnny Devine.
I'm up first. No, I despise it. I despise the holiday because people have essentially ruined what was a good idea. And no, it will eventually go away because it's religious garbage, and that religious garbage needs to go away.
Durango? Sorry, I got you. There you go.
I believe it'll last in some form or fashion. I believe at some point, to what Devine was just saying, that they'll take the religion is going less and less and less in Christmas, definitely becoming more of a commercial thing. Yeah. So I do believe it'll be around in one, certainly in our lifetime, we won't see it disappear, one way, shape, or form. Yeah. But I celebrate Christmas. I think it's I take it for what it is, though, more than anything. I definitely, I think if we look, I want to say Jesus was born in like April. Christmas is a hijacked pagan holiday, so I definitely take it for what it is. My wife loves Christmas, so anything that makes her happy makes me happy.
Yeah, Morris, you still celebrate Christmas? What's going to happen to it?
Yeah, I celebrate it. The only reason why I celebrate it is to honor my parents. Yeah. But I just wish the commercialism would go away. Oh, I'm so sick of it.
Yes. Dude, I am 100% with you on that one.
I mean, first thing is it's Halloween. They're pushing Halloween on you. By the time Halloween's over, next day you look in the Walmart, there's all the Christmas shit. All of it's there already.
Yeah.
And that's and before Remembrance Day and stuff like that, that's disgusting. Because at least Remembrance Day is a real day. Somebody else's fictitious birthday that we got to start buying presents in June. Like people buy presents for Christmas in June and post like, I'm already starting my Christmas shopping. Like those people, please die or at the very least go away. Like if you're that person who fucking announces that you're buying Christmas presents in July, go fuck yourself, please, from me.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm the same thing as Morris. It's like my mom, like it's a thing to her, and then my dad, it was a thing to him. So, as long as there's old people and children, it's for those of us, we're kind of in the middle, right? Because myself, I could give or take it. Honestly, like I hate to sound like a grizzled veteran or whatever, but really it's another day, and you spend a lot of money, and I'm kind of
too much.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it, but I do understand that a lot of people, it means a lot to a lot of people still. So, especially the kids as well. So I don't know what the future of that one will be in because there it is right there. I'm justifying it. It's for the kids. Well, if it's for the kids, you'll buy them stuff, won't you? Right? Yeah. So
exactly. You've already bought in. Yeah. Whereas, like I believe parents should push the narrative that they're like the kids' birthday is the most important day of the whole year. And if you blow up their birthday, who gives a shit about Christmas? You give them a fucking cookie and they're happy on Christmas. But if their birthday is that day, that same thing, that same expectation that they can get from Christmas for their birthday, now it's at least a real date that means something to them. Because when I was a 10-year-old, I certainly didn't give a shit about Jesus.
Right.
Even though I was a choir boy.
Right.
Even though I was a choir boy. I was an altar boy.
So here's the thing, though. So there's going to be some of us that are like, yeah, it's not a big deal. But then So what about like the kids? So let's say you're a parent that has a child and Christmas is not that big a deal to you, but your child goes to school with other children that it's a really, really big deal, and they get like a PlayStation 5 and a new bike and a whatever the fuck, an iPhone, right?
Okay.
So it turns into a little bit of that. And I will say, I remember being a single dad, like $500-600 worth of Christmas presents does not take up a lot of space under a tree.
No.
I remember thinking, wow, I got
One
some
box.
awesome presents. Yeah, I remember thinking I got some really good presents for my kid, and they're right there. They just fit, like they literally fit under the tree. Whereas like when I was a kid, I remember like our Christmas fucking tree was just piled up, right? But that was before all the gifts had to be the latest PlayStation or the latest Xbox or the latest iPhone, right? So we could get all these little fucking filler like little hockey sticks and these little gimmick boxes, right, that you can unwrap. So I don't know.
That's where I think it's up to parents to temper that expectation where possible, right? You hear the debate all the time. What's the appropriate age for a cell phone? You know what I mean? And a lot of kids, a lot of kids will get cell phones for Christmas at age 9 years old.
Yeah.
For me, it's a pretty simple debate. When you can have a job and pay for the phone, you can have a cell phone. But I also appreciate parents wanting to be able to get a hold of their kids, right? Like it's
right. So the good parents, the good parents are going to put some thought into the gifts, but the deadbeats, the pieces of shit, they're going to bring out their wallet.
Yeah.
And buy the kid whatever they want because they haven't been there or whatever it is, right? So there's kind of always those dynamics that are going to be at work. So in some sense, it can't be just disconnected from the kids. It somehow has to get through to the youth to understand kind of what this is about. Because if we let the kids drive, then everybody has to have a new PlayStation and everybody has to have a new iPhone and all that, right? I think so.
The competition drives it.
The thing is, Christmas is just an indicator of what a disaster society has become as a whole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We feel, Christmas is a time that we're supposed to try and see our families, supposed to get together. I'm taking all religious aspects out of it, right? Let's just make it totally secular. Time to get together with your family, reminisce, get prepared for a new year together, right? That's really and truly what it's about.
Yep.
But because we've lost control of the family unit, we now fill that void with a big dinner, with a bunch of presents and shit. You know what I mean? So now we don't have to talk to the kids because they're off kids. You know what I mean? So, and I think that, and not to shit on anyone's way of doing Christmas, that's not what I. But to me, it's an indicator of where society's at as a whole.
Yeah, definitely. So this one here is for Johnny Devine. You have to sit down and watch Star Wars every day, or never again, ever at all. What do you choose?
Easy. Fucking watch it every day.
Jordan,
Easy peasy, baby. Pew pew pew.
Jordan, you got to watch Star Wars every day, even if you don't feel like it. You got to sit down for like an hour or two and watch it every day.
Yeah, it's never again for me.
Never again. Morris. Red Thunder.
Never again.
Never again. Okay, and here
You guys are breaking my heart.
Here's a good one. Who is your favorite Indigenous person and why am I? Red Thunder, you go first. Okay, just kidding. Here's the real question. This is the very last one. The four of us are traveling together to a big house show in Elbow, Saskatchewan.
Elbow.
Yes.
Big house.
Yes, we get pulled over for whatever reason. None of us have our driver's license, and we all have outstanding warrants for failure to appear for previously unpaid speeding tickets. The cops are not at all impressed, and they tell us they are going to take us all to jail unless one of us can convince them that they should let us go. Who do we send to talk to the cops out of the four of us to get us out of this?
Red Thunder.
That's a tough question.
Red Thunder's a sweetheart. He'll get us out.
See, I'm thinking about Red Thunder because he does
we?
have that first responder thing, but then JP also has the military background, and he's also not the same as Morris.
That was my second question. We're in Saskatchewan. It's an RCMP officer. Is he a white guy or is he indigenous?
It's hard to say in Elbow, Saskatchewan, but I will say if they are in Elbow, Saskatchewan, they think that I am a jobber because I lost to Manny the Fish and Jetstar in Elbow, Saskatchewan.
Wait, can we back up a second? You lost to Manny. Nope.
I lost to fucking Manny the Fish in fucking Elbow.
And Jetstar.
I like Jetstar.
I fucking love Jetstar. It was fun. It was great. I love doing it. I have no problem. But Elbow, but me and Ruffy were
It's my fault, buddy. It'll be okay, buddy.
Silverstein looks at me and goes like, wow, those people in Elbow, they think you're like the biggest jobber ever.
Coming from Ruffy, that's damn.
Right?
Okay. So let's move on from that one. So we've decided that it's going to be Morris or JP.
Oh, that's
depending on the so we call that one on the fly.
That's
for this one.
Yeah, we would have to.
Here's one that we can all probably relate to because sometimes in wrestling and in the real world you get by because you're a wrestler. So have you ever benefited from wrestler's privilege, meaning you get by easier in life than other people do because you're over? And give me a situation where maybe it's helped. Like, I don't know, waiting in line or something, or...
I've got into some bars, and also one night me and Steele went bowling with my wife and his girlfriend at the time. And I pull out my wallet, and the buddy just looks at me and goes, "Team Hall of Fame money is no good here."
Yeah, Johnny Devine, how about you, man? Wrestler's privilege, does it exist?
Airports. I've pulled some good fabery at the airports with working the gimmick. Well, that's when you work the marks behind the counter, and they figure out you got a Wikipedia page, they get kind of excited, and it's like, okay. Wikipedia, I guess that's the thing.
Wrestler's privilege. Red Thunder, what about you, man? Did you ever benefit from wrestling?
I don't have it outside of Muscat Cheese, but I'm over here every day.
Yeah.
Red Thunder.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I totally get that one, man. It's kind of the same thing living in Regina, because Regina was such a big Stampede wrestling place, right? So the Stampede wrestling is huge here. So I do benefit from the wrestler's privilege every once in a while, whether that be from maybe someone in the media will give you a prime interview slot or agree to come on your podcast or things or whatever it is, because generally because you do have a following or whatever, people think you're over. Or I got past the line before. That's pretty cool too. But that's not always because you're over. That's generally sometimes because the boys work at the front door.
Also.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Here's the very last thing. This is the very last thing. Just to take it out on a really nice, easy note. What was the dumbest thing that was taught in schools in your day? Johnny Devine.
Wow. That's a pretty broad stroke question. I'm going to need a second to think of the dumbest thing I was taught in school.
I'll go. Mine was the fucking recorder. I can play hot cross buns on the fucking recorder.
That's a useless talent that we definitely didn't
Also,
need.
Mary Had a Little Lamb and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
3 Blind Mice.
3 Blind Mice.
Yep.
Hey, did you guys know that Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the Alphabet Song are the same song?
Yes. I had read that, and little known fact, it's all public domain songs that anybody can use. So, Morris, next time you need entrance music, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Awesome, guys. I want to thank you guys for taking the time for joining me on this Rassler's Roundtable, and once again for contributing your comments on these very, very critical and important issues that are happening in the world today. I also want to thank everybody that's been catching up with the Wavell Star Show podcast every week. We will see you the next time. However, in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another edition of the Wavell Star Show. Catch you boys later.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Mike, Victoria.
Hey, boys.
Thank you, Ben.